With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Please be advised this episode contains explicit language and sexual references. Listener discretion is advised. In August 2022, multiple deputies with the Adams County Sheriff's Office in rural Ohio executed a search warrant on a home owned by 48-year-old Joseph Foreman. The deputies smashed in his front door and went through his house with their weapons drawn, searching for something. According to the search warrant affidavit, a confidential informant had made some allegations against Joseph Foreman. The informant said that she was his personal assistant, and she accused him of having a dungeon in his basement. She claimed he, quote, keeps women locked in, forcing them to urinate and defecate in a bucket as punishment for upsetting or disobeying him. The informant also claimed that she and Joseph Foreman had traveled around the United States to concerts and marijuana dispensaries and had brought marijuana back to Adams County. She said she saw, quote, large amounts of money and marijuana at his residence. But when the sheriff's deputies broke Joseph Foreman's door down and raided his home, guns drawn, they found nothing significant and no kidnapping victims needing to be rescued. There was no hidden dungeon in the Ohio home. Apparently, there wasn't even a basement. At the time of the raid, Joseph Foreman wasn't home, but his children and wife were. The name Joseph Foreman may not sound familiar, but he also went by the stage name Afroman, and in June 2000, Afroman had a hit song you may have heard called Because I Got High. Now, more than 2 decades later, Joseph Foreman, a.k.a. Afroman, would find himself in a courtroom.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to reintroduce myself. My name is David Osborne, Jr. I represent Joseph Foreman. Let's go by the stage name Afroman. For a man who's famous for a song that said, I got high, the amount of force used was excessive, to say the least. After all, based on the song, a bag of Doritos would have been enough to take him out. But they deemed it necessary to not only go to his residence with assault rifles, body armor, and even a riot shield to execute their search warrant. And all that led to a destructive search of Mr. Foreman's residence. Deputies searched Mr. Foreman's home, every one of his outbuildings, behind the couch, under the hood of a car. And you know what they found? A couple little joints, which, let's face it, because I got high, that was expected. And then they found cash. His cash, not theirs. His.
The deputies confiscated around $4,000 they had found in one of Afroman's suits. The deputies' body camera footage captured the raid, and so did Afroman's security cameras that were in and around his property. However, in the middle of the raid, deputies had disconnected them. Afroman was never charged with any crimes, but he was notably angry about the raid. Previously, he had used his real life for the inspiration behind his songs, and in 2022, he did it again. Today's episode is a little different than a typical court junkie episode. It's quite relieving to say that there is no murder in this one, no loss of life, thankfully. But there are plenty of legal issues that I think are pretty fascinating, and today we're going to get into it. This is Jillian in partnership with Law and Crime. You are listening to Court Junkie. Did you know Fast Growing Trees is America's largest and most trusted online nursery, with thousands of trees and plants and over 2 million happy customers? My family and I are one of those customers, specifically my parents. Last year, we gifted them with 2 cherry trees to add to their massive yard. The trees were shipped right to their door, were healthy and easy to plant, and here we are a year later and they are thriving. Fast Growing Trees has all the plants your yard or home needs, including fruit trees, privacy trees, flowering trees, shrubs, and houseplants, all grown with care and guaranteed to arrive healthy. Ordering is easy. You don't have to drive around to nurseries or garden centers, taking up your whole Saturday. It's like your local nursery, but anywhere you live, with more plants than you'll find anywhere else. They have over 1,600 varieties of trees and plants to choose from. Whatever you're looking for, Fast Growing Trees helps you find options that actually work for your climate, space, and lifestyle. Fast Growing Trees makes it easy to get your dream yard. Just click, order, and grow, and get healthy, thriving plants delivered to your door. My husband and I don't have as big a yard as my parents do, so next on my list to check out is their indoor plant selection. Because that's the thing, you don't need a big yard or even a lot of space. I'm eyeing a lemon tree or maybe a fig tree. And one of the reasons I trust Fast Growing Trees is due to their Alive and Thrive guarantee, which promises that your plants arrive happy and healthy, which is a great thing for me and anyone else who doesn't have a green thumb. Right now, they have great deals on spring planting essentials, up to half off on select plants. And listeners to our show get 20% off their first purchase when using the code CourtJunkie at checkout. That's an additional 20% off better plants and better growing at fastgrowingtrees.com using the code CourtJunkie at checkout. Fastgrowingtrees.com, code CourtJunkie. Now's the perfect time to plant. Let's grow together. Use CourtJunkie to save today. Offer is valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions may apply. Okay, so I've been on this whole spring reset kick lately. And honestly, it started with my closet. I've been trying to get rid of the more fast fashion-y stuff and investing in pieces that I actually like to wear. That's why Quince has become such a go-to for me. Here's what I love about them. They use premium materials like 100% European linen, organic cotton, and super soft denim. And styles start around $50. So you're getting that elevated, expensive feel without the price tag that makes you groan at checkout. I actually have their short sleeve cashmere sweater, and I wear it surprisingly often. It's one of those pieces that just works with everything. A long skirt, a pair of jeans, you get it. The spring pieces from Quince are lightweight and breathable, the kind of thing you throw on and instantly look put together. Even with running the kids all over the place, I want to look like I tried without actually trying, if you know what I mean. And if you're looking for a new leather bag for the spring, the bags from Quince are made from 100% hand-woven Italian leather, and they look way more expensive than they are. The reason the prices make sense is that Quince works directly with ethical factories and cuts out the middlemen entirely. So you're paying for the quality and not the brand markup. Refresh your spring wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/court for free shipping and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. quince.com/court. After the raid at his Ohio home, Afroman began writing songs about the Adams County Sheriff's Office. He weaved in the surveillance footage of the raid with his music and posted the music videos on YouTube. In one moment, a sheriff's deputy is seen walking in Afroman's kitchen and doing a quick double glance at the cake dish on the counter. Afroman penned that song, Lemon Pound Cake. Would you like a slice of lemon pound cake? Read the lyrics. He wrote another song called Will You Help Me Repair My Door? Those lyrics go, Will you help me repair my door? Did you find what you were looking for? In another song called Why Are You Disconnecting My Security Camera? Afroman rapped, The British are coming, the British are coming. Hide your money, your kids, and your woman. White supremacists on my premises. Afroman called out the deputies for going through his CDs and his clothes while searching for kidnapping victims. He made fun of the deputies' appearances. He compared them to Family Guy's Peter Griffin or Quasimodo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame or Beetle Bailey, the comic strip character. He also said worse. He called the deputies pedophiles and a son of a bitch. He even said he had sex with one of the deputies' wives. He accused the deputies of being thieves because he said the sheriff's office did not return all the cash that they had confiscated. He said he was missing $400. The music videos were a big hit. They started generating buzz on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Millions of people were now paying attention, and his songs went viral. Afroman even sold merch. Public opinion seemed to be fiercely in Afroman's corner. People actually mailed lemon pound cakes to the department as the backlash against the sheriff's office grew. In an NPR interview in 2023, Afroman told them, "I asked myself as a powerless Black man in America, what can I do to the cops that kicked my door in, tried to kill me in front of my kids, stole my money and disconnected my cameras? And the only thing I could come up with was make a funny rap song about them, use the money to pay for the damages they did, and move on." But it was going to be difficult for Afroman to move on. First, he would have to defend himself in court. Civil court. 7 of the deputies sued Afroman, accusing him of defamation and profiting from their likeness. They filed the lawsuit in Ohio Court of Common Pleas. The deputies wanted $3.9 million in damages for humiliation, ridicule, mental distress, embarrassment, and loss of reputation. The lawsuit thrust Afroman into the national spotlight, with the national media outlets covering the trial. The American Civil Liberties Union got involved, filing a brief on Afroman's behalf. They called the deputies' lawsuit nothing short of absurd. This case is a classic entry into the slap suit genre, a meritless effort to use a lawsuit to silence criticism, they wrote in a filing. And not just any criticism, but criticism specifically of government actors. Plaintiffs are a group of law enforcement officers who executed what appears to have been a highly destructive and ultimately fruitless search of a popular musician's home. Now they find themselves at the receiving end of his mockery and outrage, expressed through a series of music videos about the search, as well as spin-off merchandise and social media commentary. They asked this court not only to award them damages, but to order him to stop speaking about them. Meanwhile, Afroman was undergoing a career resurgence. He had become a symbol of freedom of speech, unafraid to call out authorities. When the trial's opening statements began, Robert Klingler, who represented the 7 deputies, said Afroman intentionally made up lies about the officers, lies that had caused real harm in their personal lives and had hurt their reputations.
At first, he called them thieves. He said they stole $400 from him. Lots of videos, lots of songs. I think some of you probably heard them. He posted songs that alleged theft by these deputies on the internet that was seen at least 12 million times. Then he posted other things about these deputy sheriffs. He posted that Detective Brian Newland is a pedophile. He posted that Brian Newland likes to fondle little boys. He took special interest in targeting the one female deputy sheriff in the department, Lieutenant Lisa Phillips. He posted that Lisa Phillips likes to have sex with women. And in fact, Lisa Phillips isn't really a woman at all. She's got a penis instead of a vagina. That's what he posted about her. That's not all. She's had sex with my former wife. And a word I don't like to use, but you're going to have to hear it because it's all over the place. She eats pussy all the time. That's what she likes to do. Videos, posts, all over the place. Her daughter came home from school in tears because of what the kids were saying.
He said Afroman knew that what he was saying was untrue.
And that's the actual malice that you heard about. He doesn't have to hate people. He doesn't have to anything else. If he knows they weren't true, that's actual malice. For public officials, he can't do that, and he did. Now, these deputies asked the defendant years ago to stop these posts, to take them down. He didn't. He ramped them up. Freedom of speech. I can say what I want. Worse and worse. You'll see what they are before the trial's over. Just Friday, on the eve of trial, he published the most egregious thing you can imagine. I don't know if any of you have seen it. I think you will in this trial. It's basically pornography about Lisa Phillips. Mr. Foreman also targeted Deputy Randy Walters for special treatment. In several videos seen by thousands of people, Mr. Foreman declares, I used to fuck his wife. I used to fuck his wife doggy style. His daughter came home upset because the kids at school were saying, hey, is Afroman your father? We asked him to stop. He didn't. He's still publishing. There's new videos today coming out. In your face, I'm going to do what I want. Justin Cooley was targeted by Mr. Foreman as a thief. Sean Cooley, Mike Eastep, and Sean Grooms all suffered by being called a thief. They're sheriffs. They go to people's houses to do things. Hey, you're going to steal my money too? Their reputations have been damaged. It's harder for them to do their jobs. You'll hear all the evidence. That's what this case is about in terms of the facts. At the end of the case, you'll have to decide if Mr. Foreman should be held responsible for what he's done. That's what the case is about. Should he be held responsible?
Afroman's attorney argued that the sheriff's deputies are public officials, so they're held to a higher standard than the average person. Citizens also have a right to mock or criticize law enforcement, which is protected speech under the First Amendment.
The evidence will indicate that Mr. Foreman created songs with titles like Will You Repair My Door? Lemon Pound Cake. These songs went viral, yes. People connected with the message and understood what Joe was trying to say. The videos and songs resonated with the public because they addressed something that people care deeply about as Americans, and that is how law enforcement officers conduct themselves. Joe also made statements on social media about the search and the officers involved. Some of these statements were openly critical and expressed Joe's opinions about what happened. Statements about missing money. And he used some strong language, some exaggerated language. We call it hyperbolic language, to present his message and his opinion. But all these statements were a matter of public concern as well as statements about his personal opinions. The experience of law enforcement officers executing a destructive search warrant is well beyond question, as it is a matter of public concern. The plaintiffs are going to point to specific statements that Joe made. They're going to claim these statements are defamatory. They are going to attempt to remove them from their context. Statements aren't in a vacuum. There's context.
He said even what Afroman said, all the wild insults about the officers, it was clearly colorful language, sarcasm, satire. He said that was protected under the First Amendment, just like political cartoons and Saturday Night Live.
And he has a right to create artistic expression based on those opinions, based on that content. The plaintiffs, it goes without saying that they don't like what Mr. Foreman said about him. But they don't have to. That's part of our right in this country. They don't like his commentary. They don't like his art. But the First Amendment does not protect speech that we like. It protects all speech within it. It protects commentary, criticism, especially on occasions such as this. It protects speech that I would not like. Speech I've suffered. It protects it. You may not like the speech you hear, but it's protected. If the plaintiffs prevail in this case, what message will that send to this country if they prevail? It sends the message that if you criticize law enforcement, if you comment on how they conduct themselves, if you mock them, if you create art with them in it, they can sue you. That's not the America we live in.
The trial started with Afroman dressed in a red, white, and blue American flag suit. For the next 3 days, the trial, just like Afroman's music, would go viral. At times, the trial felt surreal. The jury watched Afroman's music videos, full of expletives and showing some occasional raunchy scenes. And the lawyers on both sides found themselves having to repeat much of the explicit language back. Like many other people nowadays, I've been really trying to increase my protein. But it's not always easy for me, especially when I just love pasta and carbs. My kids do too. But what's made it easier and more tempting than that delicious pasta I always see in my head is Omaha steaks. Now, instead of trying to make some protein I get from the grocery store more appealing, I can go with a mouth-watering burger, chicken, pork, or seafood. And the difference between Omaha steaks and what I normally buy at the store is palpable. Not to mention, ordering from Omaha Steaks is way more convenient and the delivery is fast. In our latest order, we got the top sirloin fillets, which have earned the coveted distinction of USDA Certified Very Tender and USDA Certified Tender. I would tell you how I prepared them, but my husband is the bigger and better chef in the family, so he's the one who made those. But whatever he did, they were so yummy, and we will definitely be reordering them and adding them to our rotation. Each steak is naturally aged for a minimum of 28 days for maximum tenderness and complex flavor. Their steaks are grass-fed, grain-finished beef with rich, juicy flavor in every bite. And I'm sure most of you had already heard of Omaha Steaks before, but something I didn't know is that they're family-owned and they practically invented meat delivery. Omaha Steaks has been perfecting the art of premium protein for over 100 years with zero compromises. With Omaha Steaks in your freezer, you're always just minutes from a quality dinner. Whether it's Taco Tuesday or a weekend feast, or you need those yummy hot dogs like we do for the kiddos. Every purchase is a risk-free win. With Omaha Steaks' 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can order with complete confidence. Taste the Omaha Steaks difference and never settle for grocery proteins again. Get flavorful, high-quality proteins delivered by visiting omahasteaks.com plus $35 off when you use the promo code COURT at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com, code COURT. Terms apply. See site for details. Raise your hand if you've been putting off some sort of doctor appointment. Maybe it's a dental cleaning or an annual checkup or blood work. Maybe something's been bothering you and you know you should get it checked out, but instead you just keep putting it off. My hand is up too. I'm due for my annual blood work and I keep coming up with excuses not to go. Sound familiar? Well, this year we're doing things differently. We're finding amazing doctors for ourselves and booking appointments with ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free app and website that helps you find and book high-quality, in-network doctors so you can find someone you love. Whether you're looking for dermatology, dentistry, primary care, eye care, or one of the other 200-plus specialties offered on ZocDoc, you can easily search by specialty or symptom to build the care team that's right for you. You can book an in-person visit or a video visit, whatever fits with your schedule. Once you find a doctor you think you might like, you can check out thousands of verified patient reviews to give you a real sense of who your doctor is. Maybe they hate small talk just as much as you do, or maybe they root for your favorite sports team. When you're ready, you can see their real-time availability and click to book instantly. There's no phone tag and no waiting around. Appointments made through ZocDoc happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments. Next time I need a doctor, I'm using ZocDoc. Stop putting off those doctor appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/court to find and instantly book a doctor you love today. That's ZocDoc.com/court. ZocDoc.com/court. Thanks, ZocDoc, for sponsoring this message. The first witness to take the stand was Detective Brian Newland, who prepared the search warrant and met with the judge. He testified they seized a small amount of marijuana and some miscellaneous drug paraphernalia, as well as $4,000 in cash.
Why was the cash taken?
It's common with any type of drug seizure. We seize the money in cases proceeds from drug-related sales or drug trafficking activity.
Was that money potential evidence?
Correct.
And did you play a role in taking that cash?
Yes.
What was your role?
I was provided the cash, or provided the money that was located by another deputy. I counted out the money, put it in an evidence bag, and then at the end of the search, I transported it back to the sheriff's office.
All right. Did you take any of the money?
No.
Did you ever take any money from the evidence bags?
No.
Did you ever take any of Mr. Foreman's money?
No.
Was your counting of the cash recorded on your body cam?
Yes.
And have you had a chance to review that?
I have.
Has Mr. Foreman accused you of taking his money?
Yes.
Are you aware that the cash was ultimately returned to Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
And can you tell us why that was?
The prosecutor at the time decided we're not going to pursue any criminal charges, and the property was released back to him.
Okay. Were you present when Mr. Foreman picked up the cash that had been seized?
No.
Do you know whether any press was invited to attend the return of this cash?
I learned that there was later.
Okay, but you weren't there.
Correct.
Can you tell us what happened when the money was returned to Mr. Foreman?
Your Honor, I would object to that. He's already testified he wasn't there.
Okay, let me rephrase it. That's fair. Was an allegation made that there was less cash than there should have been?
Yes.
And who made that allegation?
I believe Mr. Foreman.
How did you learn about this discrepancy?
The evidence technician that releases property had called me and told me that the count was short.
Tell us what you mean by that. The count was short.
Just that there was more money listed than what there was inside, and that was less money was returned than what was indicated.
And where was this amount indicated?
On the bag.
On evidence bag?
Correct.
So I'm understanding you correctly. The amount of money that was indicated on the evidence bag was more than what was actually returned to Mr. Foreman.
Correct.
And were you able to account for that discrepancy?
I wasn't. No.
What happened?
Once the allegation was made, the sheriff contacted the Claremont County Sheriff's Office to conduct an independent investigation.
Do you know whether an independent investigation was conducted by the Claremont County Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
And do you know the results of that investigation?
They were to determine that I miscounted the money during my original count.
All right. Did they conclude that any money had been taken?
They said that there was not any money taken.
Did that stop Mr. Foreman from continuing to claim you had stolen $400?
No.
The deputy's attorney showed Detective Newland one of Afroman's posts and read it out loud.
This is the uneducated can't count pedophile police officer that stole my money. His name is baby-making Brian, child molesting, newborn baby mama, newborn Newland, Detective Brian Newland. I have a song coming out about him. The chorus goes like this. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Brian Newland is a flag. He used to play with little toys. Now he plays with little boys. Watch your little boys around Brian Newland. He's very bold. He will fondle little boys' testicles and butt cheeks right in front of you in broad daylight. This is a public service announcement. Stay safe. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
The attorney read more of Afroman's posts.
He used to do hard drugs. It says there in the third or fourth line. Did you ever do hard drugs, Detective Newland?
No.
He snitched on all his friends. You have any idea what that's all about?
No.
Now he steals money from traffic stops, bogus raids, and from Adams KK County Sheriff Evidence Room under the camouflage of law enforcement. Did you ever steal money from a traffic stop?
No.
Did you ever steal money from anybody?
No.
And down below it says, baby making Brian Newland t-shirts on sale.
He then played for the jury one of Afroman's songs.
Detective Newland, can you see what that sign says?
Yes.
What is it? Would you read it for us?
They stole my money.
Okay. Go ahead and play.
Videos selling my proof. How can you take me to court when you stole my money and it's $400 short? You vandalized my property, and you filed a lawsuit properly. I'm a rapper, so I'm rapping. What? I can't talk about what happened?
Detective Newland was asked about an image appearing in the music video. It was a picture that was taken when deputies from the sheriff's office had taken kids from low-income families shopping at Walmart for Christmas. Detective Newland was pictured with one of those kids.
And that was a photo that Mr. Foreman or somebody on his behalf took and used in that pedophile posting?
Yes.
What effect did it have on you when you saw these posts that you're a pedophile?
I was angry, sad, depressed, upset.
Why were you sad or upset? Isn't it just somebody exaggerating or making jokes or making a comment?
I didn't find it funny at all. I work in law enforcement, have kids, have friends, family. I was involved in the schools. And then I'm being blasted all over social media for the entire United States to see that I'm a pedophile.
Detective Newland testified that he decided to leave his job and work for a different county sheriff's department to be spared from the embarrassment. He said Afroman affected his personal life, too. Kids stopped coming over to spend the night with his children for sleepovers. During cross from Afroman's attorney, Detective Newland acknowledged that his new job came with a pay raise. The attorney then pressed Detective Newland for more details on what happened when Afroman's money was found and how the deputies counted it and seized it.
Does the Adams County Sheriff's Office have a policy and procedure pertaining to the counting of money as evidence?
I believe so.
What do you mean you believe so?
I haven't worked there in almost 3 years.
Oh, before you worked there, did they have one?
I don't necessarily know that it was a written policy, but it was to have 2 people count the money.
Did 2 people count the money?
No.
This may sound an extremely stupid question. How many times did you count the money?
I counted it one time.
Why only once?
At the time, there was so much going on. I counted one time, put it in the bag, and until we got done.
Did you seal the evidence bag before you left?
I did not.
Did you seal the evidence bag at the Adams County Sheriff's Department?
Yes, it was sealed at Adams County Sheriff's Office.
I didn't ask if it was sealed. I asked if you sealed it.
Yes, I would have sealed the bag.
You would agree that there was mistakes made during the search and counting the money and everything, correct?
Yes.
So it was not done perfectly, correct?
Correct.
The jury learned about Detective Newland's life. He was in the U.S. Army from 2010 to 2015. He later chose a career in law enforcement because he liked the excitement. His brother was a police chief who ironically had gotten into trouble with the law, which had not gone unnoticed by Afroman.
Why did your brother leave the People's Police Department?
He was charged with some kind of crime through the Adams County Prosecutor's Office. He was subsequently convicted, and he resigned or quit sometime during the process.
And it is a fair statement to say it involved minor children?
I really don't know anything about the investigation.
You don't know anything about your brother's crime he was charged with?
Just what I've seen on Jail Tracker in the past.
So you're not close to your brother?
I'm not, no.
Mm-hmm. Are you close to your family then?
Yeah, most of my family.
Then why not your brother who's in law enforcement?
Well, we were both in the Army at the same time, separate parts of the world. We kind of got close again. And then once this, his issues happened, we kind of just drifted apart again.
So you drifted apart once he had a criminal problem?
Correct.
Let's talk about that. Has anybody asked you about that prior to 2022 when he was charged?
No.
No one asked you about your brother?
I'm sorry. Before he was charged and it came out to everybody? No.
When was the first time you were asked about it then?
It would have been shortly after he was charged or arrested. It was all a complete surprise to me.
And that was prior to Mr. Foreman's video and post, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
He said people treated him differently after Afroman's post.
So people come and ask you about your brother. Did they treat you differently because of that?
It was just on a smaller scale. I was asked about it, and then that was it. It wasn't shared, and I wasn't put in music videos and everything else because of that reason.
But your brother's criminal charge and everything was in the front page of the local newspaper, correct?
Yeah,
So everybody in Adams County knew that your brother was charged.
correct.
If you don't know if they treated you differently when your brother's was on the front page of the paper, how do you know that your treatment today, or as you've testified to, was due solely to Mr. Foreman?
Well, prior to this, nobody called me a pedophile. Prior to this, there was nothing published about me being a pedophile. Prior to this, nobody asked me if I was molesting my own 3-year-old son.
He agreed that when he interviewed for his new position at the new department, no one there held anything against him.
Would it be fair to say it did not affect your professional career then?
Oh, it absolutely did.
How so?
Even if I move locations from Adams County to Cincinnati or to Los Angeles, people still ask if I'm a pedophile. People still ask me what it's about. People still ask me if I'm a thief.
But the people you work with do not ask that, correct?
They don't ask me, I know.
When you were interviewed, your future employer never asked you that question.
No.
He was asked if he had ever been accused before of stealing money at traffic stops, and he said yes.
It was not Mr. Foreman that accused you, correct?
Correct.
So when you talk about your reputation, are you talking about your reputation only in Adams County, or are you talking about it in the whole world?
My reputation in general. Adams County, Hamilton County, the entire world.
The entire world.
Hmm.
So you care what people think about you in Australia?
When it affects me and my job, yes.
How does Australia affect your job?
I'm not saying that it does. I'm just using it as a generalization. If it affects me and my personal life and my job, yes, it matters to me.
Now, you're claiming that by being called a thief, you were painted in a false light.
Yes.
And what exactly does that mean?
That I was being painted in a false light.
You've been accused of stealing from traffic stops before.
So being accused of stealing on traffic stops before was when money was seized and forfeited by the courts and no longer returned. And I was, quote unquote, called a thief. Okay. Never to this extent. Okay. Never to this broad,
But you would agree there is some similarity here. Money was seized here too.
Correct.
Detective Newland testified that police face a stigma against seeking mental health counseling or seeing a doctor. He said he had been dealing with the fallout from the Afroman raid alone. Lisa Phillips is one of the other officers who was suing Afroman. She testified that after the raid, Afroman posted about her on Instagram, calling her a condescending C-word. Quote, "Good morning, ladies. Here she is, the condescending C-word. Adams KKK County Sheriff Lieutenant Mona Lickumlow Lisa to serve and disconnect your home video security surveillance system, so you won't have proof of the Adams County Sheriff's Department stealing money and other things around your house, even possibly planting false kidnapping evidence. I used to speak to this lady when I dropped my kids off to school. I always wondered why she never spoke back, just looked at me with the same condescending C-word look you see in the picture. I spoke to her again at the metal detector at the Adams County Courthouse. Her voice was 3 octaves lower than mine, LOL. Has anybody in Adams County verified her vagina? If you haven't, you should." Another post read, "Good morning, ladies. Lieutenant Mona Lickumlow Lisa full of shit Phillips to serve and to disconnect after stealing my money and disconnecting my cameras. Lieutenant Mona Lickumlow Lisa full of shit Phillips is suing me for humiliating her, giving her mental stress, ridicule, and the loss of her reputation. She doesn't like being called Lieutenant Mona Lickumlow Lisa full of shit Phillips, but she loves stealing money and disconnecting cameras of law-abiding, tax-paying citizens." Afroman also posted multiple videos about her on his social media accounts, including a music video for a song with the lyrics, "Lieutenant Lickumlow Lisa ate my ex-wife like pizza." Lisa testified that she saw everything he posted. As the music video played in court, she cried on the stand. Sean Grooms is another deputy who was present at the raid and who brought the lawsuit against Afroman. He testified that the posts from Afroman accusing the officers of being thieves had a big effect on his life.
Well, you go to the call, or people come up to you and call you a thief, ask you if you're going to steal their money.
Has that happened to you?
It happened many times.
More than once?
Me. Yes, more than once.
Oh, what effect did that have on you? So big deal, you got called a thief.
Just ruins your reputation. People that trust you, now they don't trust you.
Do you have any examples? I mean, without giving names, do you have any examples or instances where you felt like somebody used to trust you and now they don't?
Yeah, there's been a few places or a few calls I went to, and people ask you, you're not going to help me. What you done to Afroman?
You had people say that to you?
Yes.
He said it affected his ability to do his job, and he received threats that came through dispatch. Sean Cooley, who Afroman nicknamed Deputy Lemon Pound Cake, also took the stand to testify about the taunts and abuse he got after the raid. He was sent hundreds of pound cakes at work by strangers. He said other reactions from the public were less lighthearted.
I would answer the phone at the sheriff's department because they were overwhelmed. I remember one day there was over 300 calls threatening us, calling us thieves. So we would have to go over and help dispatch because they were overwhelmed. There's only 2 dispatchers. So, yeah, they didn't call me directly, but I answered the phone. They would cuss me, threaten to kill me, threaten to kill my kids, threaten to kill my wife. And it got to the point to where my wife and my children couldn't even go to Walmart. You couldn't go into a gas station around here. My youngest daughter would hear the dogs bark at night and come in my room, wake me up terrified that somebody was there to kill us. Because even though they were young, they're still on Facebook. They still see this stuff. And it was just one after another after another. And when it would start to slow down, he would go back and do it all over again and get it all started again.
Are there any other examples that you can think of as you sit here today of ways that these posts about being a thief have affected you in a negative way?
One of the things that really kind of upset me, I was doing an investigation as a detective, and I had to go all the way up to eastern Ohio on the Pennsylvania border. And when I walked into the deputy's room up there to talk to them, they all knew me, all knew that I'd been called a thief, lemon pound cake. It's everywhere. You can go anywhere. And if people recognize you, they start that stuff, whether they're being sarcastic or what.
And has your image, your face been posted on some of these posts along with or in the context of thief accusation?
Well, according to he has posted my image, yes, several times on the internet. He sold merchandise, sweatshirts, T-shirts, things of that nature at all of his venues. Matter of fact, they were for sale at a smoke shop here in town.
Sergeant Randy Walters, another one of the officers who raided Afroman's house, took the stand during day 2 of the trial. Sergeant Walters, who was white, was the father of 6 children. 3 were biologically his own, and the other 3 he adopted through foster care. 2 of his adopted daughters were biracial Hispanic, and his youngest adopted daughter was biracial African American. The youngest daughter was 11 when the Afroman controversy began. Sergeant Walters said he learned Afroman was posting about his family when his daughter came home from school and told him. She was getting teased at school because kids told her Afroman must be her daddy because he claimed in social media posts that he had slept with Sergeant Walters' wife.
How did that affect you?
It's horrible. It's hard when your job that you're doing affects your family, which affects you. When you have a kid come home crying that's already been through a life, and now they're getting hazed and harassed because somebody thinks it's funny. Somebody knows it's not true. Been with my wife for 28 years. She didn't have an affair with Mr. Foreman. She didn't make my daughter with Mr. Foreman. But now my family has to be harmed because of straight up 100% lies. Where in the world is it okay to make something up for fun that's damaging to others when you know for sure it's an absolute lie?
Sergeant Walters said he works the night shift out in a rural community. He did his paperwork alone in his vehicle. Now, he said the Afroman situation had intensified his fear for his safety since he started getting death threats. He testified that his family had suffered worse than what happened to Afroman's family during the raid.
The respect for my family, including my law enforcement family, wasn't nothing like the respect I gave to his children the night of the raid. I stopped what I was doing when his wife, who I know and have been friendly with for years as far as being associates, said, hey, somebody pulled, they were next door. Somebody pulled in and they're scared. I stopped what I did, what I was doing, and went and checked on his kids to make sure they were safe, because that's a priority to me. But the same respect that was given to his family had no regard to mine or me. And that affects me, because to see my family in distress because of my job is distressful to me. To have the public send you death threats over lies is distressing.
During cross came this memorable exchange.
So you were called a couple of names by Mr. Foreman, one of those being, what was it? Beetle Bailey.
Yes, sir.
Does anyone believe you're Beetle Bailey?
Probably not. That's a drawn cartoon.
Beetle Bailey is a cartoon that's in the newspaper.
Sure.
Been there for years. So that would be an exaggeration. Okay. And when they call you a son of a bitch, that would be an opinion? I'd assume that would be an opinion. Because there's no way we can prove whether you're a son of a bitch or not.
Yeah, she's been dead for years.
Sorry. I am sorry about your mother. But you would agree, though, that when someone calls someone a son of a bitch, it's not necessarily a statement of fact. It's more a statement of opinion or a description of a person.
Sure.
Okay. The same thing with being called, I think it's Gomer Pyle.
Yes.
Okay. No one would think you're Gomer Pyle from the movie.
Obviously, that's a character in a movie.
Yeah. But you're not that person. No.
Attorneys for the officers also called Mike Robinson with the Claremont County Deputy Sheriff's Office to the stand. He is a certified evidence technician. He testified about the cash discrepancy in the case. He said he watched the video from the body cam footage that showed the officer counting the money as he confiscated it from the house. According to his testimony, none of the officers had stolen any money. It had just been miscounted at the scene.
There were actually two money counts. There was, from the body cam video footage, there was money that was collected from one room of the home, and there was other monies that were collected from another, what appeared to be another room of the home. So you had a money count in this room that totaled a certain amount, and then you had a money count in another room that totaled a certain amount.
And do you remember what the alleged discrepancy was? Maybe not in terms of numbers right now, we'll get to that, but just in general, what was the problem? There was something, an amount was recorded that didn't actually comport with the amount of money that was there. Is that?
That's correct. So what was reported altogether was $400 missing, alleged to be missing. $390 from the first money count, from the one-room money count, and $10 from another money count from the other room. So that totaled to $400.
All right. And did you review, you mentioned you reviewed some body cam. Do you know whose body cam footage that was?
That was Detective Newland's body cam.
Okay. And you reviewed that body cam?
I did.
And were you able to come to any conclusions after your review of that body cam?
So the body cam footage that I reviewed in the one room that was counted as $4,390, I reviewed that body cam footage, and it was clear to me that there was a miscount of $390.
Later, on day 2 of the trial, Afroman himself took the stand.
For the record, would you give us your name, please?
My name is Joseph Edgar Foreman.
You are known under the stage name as Afroman, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
In the courtroom, Joseph Foreman, a.k.a. Afroman, wore sunglasses and a button-up suit with the United States flags emblazoned on the fabric. He was called by the plaintiffs. Afroman told the court that he was still busy performing, years after the success of Because I Got High in 2000. The year prior, he had rapped at about 250 concerts.
You have a large presence on social media, obviously, correct?
Depends on your definition of large. There's bigger people than me, but I'm all right.
And on Instagram, is it fair to say that you have 247,000 followers?
Yeah, I just got some of them the other day.
You got new ones coming all the time?
Yes. Not all the time, just here lately.
Because the trial's coming up?
Yeah, all the publicity from the officers lawsuing me is running up my numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on YouTube, you have almost 1 million followers, 983,000. Is that right?
I haven't looked. It was 977 last time I looked.
And on TikTok, you have about 392,000 followers?
I haven't looked at it, but that sounds kind of right.
You know when you post something that a lot of people are going to see it, don't you?
Yes.
Afroman was driving home from Chicago when the raid happened. His family alerted him. He said he was able to watch the raid unfolding on his phone, at least until officers unplugged his surveillance cameras at the house.
I figured they stole my money. They turned my cameras off. So if you turn my cameras off, you must have got something bad in mind. So yeah, I'm accusing them of it. They turned my cameras off. I can't see what they're doing.
And is it fair to say you were angry and upset about this search?
I wasn't happy.
And is that why you posted the things we've seen this week, because you weren't happy?
No, I posted it because the sheriff's never supposed to raid my house in the first place. The whole raid was a mistake. All of this is their fault. If they hadn't wrongly raided my house, there would be no lawsuit. I would not know their names. They wouldn't be on my body. They wouldn't be on my home surveillance system. And there would be no songs, nothing. My money would still be intact, nothing. So all of this is their fault.
And because they executed a search warrant on your home, that gave you the right to post the things that we've seen this week on the internet?
Because
Is that right? Is that right, Mr. Foreman?
Yes, for tearing down my door, not paying for it, not being apologetic, me being a sport, doing something peaceful to raise the money to pay for their damages, me having the right of the freedom of speech as an American to talk to my family, friends, and fans about what the sheriffs did to my home. Yes, I had the right to my freedom of speech. After they left, I had the right to kick the can and to do what I had to do to repair the damage they brought to my house. Yes, I did.
That includes the right to post the videos that you've just been posting up until Friday and beyond, right?
Yes, I have freedom of speech. I'm a rapper. I entertain. I write fiction, comedy. I entertain for a living like you practice law for a living. So I have to go to work.
The attorney asked him if the whole basis of him saying his money was stolen was because the amount in the bag he got back was different than the amount written on the bag.
Yeah, my whole thing is they never should have raided me in the first place.
That's your whole thing.
That's my whole thing.
That's the point.
That's my whole thing. If they never would have showed up, there would be no songs about them. I wouldn't know who they are. Their faces would not be on my video cameras. None of this, we wouldn't be in this room right now if they hadn't raided my house and didn't press no charges, didn't even know what they was doing. This whole thing is their fault, and they're suing me for their mistake.
And so you don't really care if they stole your money or not. You're just mad about what they did.
I do care about if they stole them. Police officers shouldn't be stealing the civilians' money. So I do care. All of it is an outrage. But this whole thing is an outrage.
admit that you don't have any evidence that Lisa Phillips stole your money?
No. But I know if she wasn't there in the first place, we wouldn't be having this conversation or be here.
And is it true that one of your big motivation, really, in making all of these posts is to make money?
To pay for the damage that they brought to my house under the circumstance that they shouldn't have even been there in the first place.
So the answer to my question is yes, your motivation was to make money.
To pay for the damages that they brought to my house under the circumstances that they shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Have you made enough yet to make up for it?
Not really. You know.
How much have you made on it?
I don't know exactly, but it wasn't hardly $24,000.
$24,000.
It wasn't that. It wasn't.
You're still making money on today, right? With new posts and advertisements and things.
It's publicity.
You're still selling merchandise, aren't you?
No, publicity. Just me. Just everybody. Thanks to them bringing publicity to this, it's just an opportunity to run numbers up and be an entertainer.
And the more lies, outrageous lies you tell about them, the more money you can make, right?
Fact, they never should have came to my house in the first place. Fact, if they hadn't came to my house, they wouldn't have put themselves on the video camera and in my music career. All of this is their fact. All of this is their fault. And they have the audacity to sue me. These people and you are the predators and the victim at the same time.
So what they did, searching your house, gave you the right to do everything you
under the circumstance that I got freedom of speech. After they run around my house with guns and kick down my door, I got the right to kick a can in my backyard, use my freedom of speech, turn my bad times into a good time. Yes, I do. And I think I'm a sport for doing so because I don't go to their house, kick down their doors, flip them off on their surveillance cameras, then try to play the victim and sue them.
When it was time for Afroman to present his defense, his attorneys called Officer Sean Groom's former wife to the stand. In his deposition, Officer Grooms had made the allegation that his marriage had ended due to Afroman's song and videos. When she took the stand, she said that was not true.
Ms. Grooms, has Mr. Foreman's posts about Sean or any of the general posts about the Adams County Sheriff's Department as a whole affected your life any at all?
No.
Would you believe it would have affected your life while you were married to Sean?
If it had any effect, I guess that would be the time it would have an effect.
But as his spouse, would have expected it?
Yes.
Okay. And I don't want you to go into too many details, but is it fair to say that Mr. Foreman, the posts about the police department, everything had not a damn thing to do with your relationship between you and Sean and why it came to an end?
No, it did not.
So the posts never affected your life, never affected your marriage?
No.
Okay. So any statement to the contrary would be false?
Yes.
Closing arguments began. Robert Klingler, the lawyer representing the deputies, went first.
When this trial started, I told you it was about intentional lies that are designed to hurt people. It's not about freedom of speech. It's about defamation. It's about false light defamation, intentional lies designed to hurt people. Mr. Foreman perpetuated lies intentionally, repeatedly, over 3.5 years on the internet about these 7 brave deputy sheriffs who've lived in this county for years, risked their lives for this county for years, done their job, been in the community for many, many years. Mr. Foreman did it intentionally. Mr. Foreman knew that what he posted on the internet were lies. He knew there was no theft. He knew there was no sex with Randy Walters' wife. And he certainly knew all of the stuff he's repeatedly posted about Lisa Phillips up until Friday and probably later were lies too. There's not going to be economic damages in this case. There's no doctor bills. There's no damaged property. There's damage to reputation. There's pain and suffering. There's public humiliation. There's everything you saw and heard from these detectives from the witness stand. And the only thing you can do as a jury to decide this case is to render a verdict of money that somehow stands in, somehow represents the harm that these deputy sheriffs have been put through over 3.5 years. That's all you can do. You can't issue an order that says stop. You can't issue an order that says, say you're sorry. All you can do is issue a verdict for an amount that fairly stands in, represents what they've been through, what they've lost. No one else is going to do it. The judge isn't going to do it. Court of Appeals isn't going to do it. It's your job.
David Osborne Jr., Afroman's attorney, went next.
We started this time, I talked about this case was about freedom of speech. But let's talk about what it's also about. It's also about music. Not all music is tasteful. Not everybody likes all music. There's some songs I hate. I think we can find plenty of people that find songs they do not like. But Mr. Foreman, Joe, is a rapper and comedian. It's what he's done his whole life is rap, make songs. We got to think of what rap is, because music does not exist in a vacuum. Music evolves over time. Take a look at jazz. It's evolved. At one time, it was distinct in a certain subculture, and it has now expanded. Rap is the same. Rap started out as a means for people to express social commentary, opinions through entertainment. Look at the song by NWA. Or they call it Fuck the Police. I think I said that right. It's a social commentary on what was going on in their lives. Their personal effect, the personal things happening to them, combined with entertainment, which unfortunately is exaggeration. Opinion, nothing of fact in that song. It's a commentary on society. I'm not going to sit here and say that these 7 people were happy about what happened to them. I'm not going to say that. That'd be stupid. But what I am going to say is they are public officials. We see it on the news all the time, public officials made fun of. Let's go back to voir dire. During my voir dire, we talked about, with the one juror that's gone, we talked about that, yes, I ran for public office. She agreed I put myself out as a public official. She agreed that it was an opinion when someone called me a baby killer. Even our witnesses on the stand, I asked that question. They said a crooked defense attorney is not a vine, it's a matter of opinion. Crooked cops, dirty defense attorneys. Oh, wait, one witness did want to say I might not have taken a shower. But those are all opinions, exaggerations, not statements of fact. And we know that. And that's why public officials are held to a higher standard, because that standard is what is expected of them as subjecting themselves to public scrutiny.
He said there were numerous issues with the raid and the investigation, like how the money they confiscated was handled and miscounted. The sheriff's deputies had failed their own policy for checks and balances, which led to the miscount. He said the department never notified the courts that there had been an error with the money amount either.
Truth is a defense. That's why we talked about the theft. That's why we showed all that. Because I wanted you to see how the money was handled. There's a lot of confusion around it. And for that reason. Before I get to another point, I want to address something that's bouncing around my head. Bob says, what does this message send if you find for Mr. Foreman? I rephrase that question a little differently. What does this message send if we find that music and social commentary, while maybe not the most tasteful thing in the world, is silenced because a public official, while hurt by it, yes, unhappy by it, yes, pissed off, yes, emotional, yes. What opinion does that sound? I mean, if you can sue people, music artists, comedians, to shut them down, that's what we're looking at here.
He warned that the deputy's lawsuit could have a chilling effect on society. You don't like what a government official does, so you crack a distasteful joke? Then you suddenly are stuck defending yourself in a courtroom because you're being sued. He thanked the jury for their hard work over the 3-day trial and asked them to rule in favor of Afroman on all counts. In the end, the jury ruled Afroman was not liable for defamation. He had prevailed and beat the lawsuit against him. The deputies would receive nothing. "We did it, America," Afroman said on his Instagram, dressed in what has become his signature flag suit to celebrate the verdict. He has since continued to post. And that's all for this episode. This episode was researched and written by Gabrielle Rusin. And if you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe to Court Junkie's Patreon page at courtjunkie.com/support, where we offer exclusive episodes. You can find Cardi B's trial, another viral moment in pop culture that I covered earlier. Thanks again for listening. Until next time.
Pluto TV has thousands of free movies and TV shows.
We're coming at you with everything we got.
This is the mindset. Free. This is the mantra. Free. This is the mindset. With movies like Pineapple Express, the entire Star Trek film franchise, and Gladiator, and TV shows like Survivor, SpongeBob SquarePants, The Fairly Odd Parents, and Ghosts, Pluto TV is always free. Huzzah! Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.